Donegal, folks. Well, it'll come as no surprise. We tell you that the government are obviously resisting this attempt to have the by-election, and I think it's really a mark of this government, and I have to say, not just the Féin oil wing, but John Gormley, who's the minister, has a case to answer here. And the fact that the government is acting without mandate. These three constituencies are being denied the right to elect a TD, and particularly I want to commend Pearse for the action that he's taking in relation to Donegal South West. So perhaps Pearse can be
Okay, well, first of all, while I welcome the fact that the 18th of October now has been set as the date for the listing of this case with a view of going to full hearing that same week, subject to the court's availability, I must say that I do condemn the government for coming here today to seek a date for this case. What they should have done, if they had any decency in them, was announce a date for the by-election. But it doesn't come as any surprise to me, or indeed anybody in Donegal South West, that they are trying to defend the indefensible, because we know only too well the record of this government in that constituency where we have been neglected. I come from a constituency where a third of our workforce is unemployed, where at this point in time we're facing hospital closures in terms of our community hospitals, and our general hospital is facing ward closures and curtailment of services. So I look forward to the 18th of October. I look forward to the chance to have the government in the dock to answer the accusations that I have made against them, because this is clearly unlawful, unconstitutional to deny the people of Donegal South West their constitutional, legal and lawful rights to go to the polls and cast judgment on this government's record and elect what is, I believe, in terms of myself, a representative that will represent all the people in a strong and vigorous way and challenge this government.
You're secondly said that they're resisting your application, but it's just going through the court's process. They've actually said that they want nearly to make it, but they're not opposed to it.
Well, the reality is, this government have denied the people of Donegal South West a by-election on 2 occasions when there was a vote in the Dáil. What we are seeking in this judicial review is an order from the High Court instructing the government not to oppose a motion being put before the Dáil by Sinn Féin to trigger the by-election. What they should have done, if they had any decency, was announce the date for that by-election. We are 14 months into the vacancy. It is unheard of in other democracies throughout the world. This happens in dictatorships. It doesn't happen in modern democracies. And what they should have done, if they had any decency, was announce today that yes, they are acting unlawfully and unconstitutionally, and would call the by-election for Donegal South West.
That's not what their lawyers do.
Well, their lawyers are being... With respect, the lawyers are acting on behalf of the government. It is the government that I am taking this case against, and the government have instructed their legal teams to defend this High Court action, which is obviously going to cost money for the state and cost time. And what we should be doing is allowing the people of Donegal South West to go to the polls as soon as possible and cast judgment on this government. But the reality is, they're running scared, not just in this constituency in Donegal South West, but in Waterford and Dublin South also.
You're saying it's an abuse of power as well, Pearse?
It is an abuse of power. You know, the reality is, if the polls were indicating that a Fianna Fáil Green government were to be successful in any of these constituencies, there's no doubt that we would have had the election. And it's not right for a government just to postpone elections or to not hold elections because they fear that they will not get elected. That is an abuse of power. That shouldn't happen in modern democracy. And there is a real need for reform of the electoral system. And I do note that it is only last week that the Ericles Committee on the Constitution recommended that by-elections would happen within 6 weeks. There were 7 government members, or 7 Fianna Fáil Green members on that panel which agreed to that there. And although if any one of them voted with Sinn Féin's motion the last time in April, that election would have already happened.
Thanks, Margaret. Yours, thanks.